Joining me now to have a conversation, hopefully a frank and direct conversation to parents about sextortion, is Diana Schunn, CEO of the Child Advocacy Center here in Sedgwick County. Diana, this is following Dylan Dominguez's story. I talked to a very brave mother out of El Dorado wanting to share her story of her teenage son targeted by this sextortion scheme, ends up taking his own life. Very young, about to start 8th grade. She says she had no idea that he was having this conversation. We believe it initiated on TikTok, likely from overseas. Thought he was talking to someone he had developed a relationship with, and in the end, they were extorting him for money and then threatened to release photos. So really what I want to, you work in this field, you work with children. I think for parents, I'm the parent of teenage daughters. I think it's hard to know how to approach this discussion before anything ever happens.
Yeah, first and foremost, I just want to say that all the steps that we do as parents doesn't automatically mean that we could have prevented something tragic from happening. Bad things, unfortunately, can still continue to happen. So first and foremost, just thoughts really to the family having experienced this tragedy. But I think that really education begins as early as we can. It should just be infused as part of our conversation so that it's not this one magic sit-down conversation that we have about body safety, internet safety, strangers. Any of those kinds of conversations should be something that we just continue to have conversations with our children as they grow up. It isn't no, now that you're 14, we can have this conversation. If they're already online, they're plenty early to be talking to about internet safety and the dangers of internet safety. So just even being very frank about what is sextortion. If they're using the internet, they're old enough to understand what sextortion is, and recognizing that many individuals are very tricky about what they're doing, and there's professional scammers, and that's what their entire intent is. They don't care about a child's feelings. They don't care about a parent's feelings following the aftermath. All they care about is the potential of, in most cases, making money. In other cases where we see girls being sextorted in many circumstances, it's because they want more photos, they want more video, they want more content that they can then turn around and either utilize themselves or share or sell. So again, there's always that personal gain from the offender's standpoint, and we just need to inherently understand that offenders are very tricky and very intentionally deceitful in gaining our trust, gaining our children's trust in attempting to get them to comply with whatever they are requesting.
And I think as parents, we're hesitant to have these hard conversations.
It is. It's difficult. It's uncomfortable. We don't want to think that that's going to ever be something that might affect our children. We believe our children know the difference between right and wrong, and in many circumstances they do. And in
but
reality,
adults often don't. They get targeted as well.
In reality, we all get tricked in different ways, and I think that we all want love, we all want affection, and that's one of the main reasons that we see many of these scammers really preying on a relationship. We know one another. You can trust me. I'll never do anything to harm you. And those words turn into enemy words very, very quickly as soon as they start getting something that they want. And what we see is that once they receive something and the threats start and children start to comply with those threats, the threats just get more and more. So it doesn't ease up. It isn't going to stop them from wanting more. And that's where we have to step in and really have those conversations with, do they know how to talk to an adult? If it's not going to be me, who is that safe person you can talk to? Someone who's automatically going to say, you can talk to me. It doesn't matter what you've done. You're not to blame. Let's figure out how we can handle this situation.
We have about 30 seconds, and I do want to drill down on if it happens, despite the warnings. So if it happens, to make that child feel comfortable to come forward because they think their life is ending with those photos out there.
Absolutely. There's a lot of shame and guilt and despair, depression that then leads to feeling of helplessness. And what we want to send a message to our children is that no matter what the circumstance is, you can come to me, you can come to a safe person, you can talk to us about what has happened, regardless of whether you feel like you were, guilty in doing something wrong or not, whether you were tricked into it, it doesn't matter. You can come to us and we'll help you walk through this. And that means we're going to get a hold of law enforcement. We're not going to destroy the evidence. We're going to give them the information that we have in efforts to try to take care of it in whatever way possible.
All right, Diana Schunn, CEO of the Child Advocacy Center. If you or your family gets caught up in this, a great resource as well to lean on should it happen to you or your family.
Yes.
All right,
We
thank
have
you.
education on a regular basis about internet safety, and we would be delighted to be able to share that information.
All right, thanks, Diana.
Mm-hmm.